Bem-vindo! Hoje é o nosso primeiro programa falando no inglês, no Conectv.
Welcome to the Algarve by Conectv.
Natalia Rosso Properties. Your wise investment is our high priority.
Currencies for you, achieving you more for your money.
At Living Life Algarve by Kat Almeida.
Morning, people. How are you today? I've got something very special for you today. Did you know that mushrooms is one of the biggest industries in Europe? Mushrooms. I'm not obviously talking button or magic. We're talking about medicinal mushrooms, of which I've recently been introduced to, loving every minute, but I don't really know enough about it. So today, Skeets from
That's right.
Mushroom Compadres has come to tell us all about it. Welcome, Skeets. Thank you so much.
Thank you
so
for
much
having us.
joining me.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here. So yeah, we are from the Mushroom Compadres. We're a small artisanal factory in the Algarve, where we produce about 500 kilos of mushrooms a month to make supplements and food. So we sell the food mushrooms locally, and then we make the supplemental mushrooms.
Whereabouts are you in the Algarve?
We're in Rogil, in the Conselho Val d'Azur.
So west.
The West Coast.
West.
Yeah, we're on the West Coast in the Costa Vicentina National Park.
And have you chosen that because of the weather or the amount of ground available?
Well, it's a good question. So we ended up in Al d'Azur from a twist of fate, and my wife really loved the town Al d'Azur. So we were looking for somewhere more tranquil than the city of San Antonio, Texas to live in. We came to visit Portugal and saw Al d'Azur. It had a little school project that my wife really liked, so we settled there in 2019, and then got into the mushrooms.
That's a big change. Texas
It's a big change. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we brought some of that spirit of, let's just do it. Let's go for it. So,
Excellent.
yeah,
Excellent.
Yeah.
So 2019, you started the company.
2021. Yeah.
Okay.
So right around the corner at 2021.
All right.
I was a little bit lost for a year or so on sabbatical here, and I don't
recharge your batteries.
Yeah, I didn't know anything. I didn't know the metric system. I didn't know any Portuguese. So it took me a year or so to get my bearings. I knew that I wanted to do regenerative agriculture, and then the mushrooms were meant to be the motor of this movement to promote regeneration of the soil and to get better food going. So
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're specializing in that. Obviously, it's taken off.
yeah, so
massively.
we have a 300 square meter little factory, little building in Rogil. We rent that space, and in that we have the lab, we have the substrate room, we have the grow rooms, the fruiting rooms, and then we have a big walk-in cooler, and we process and package.
So
some of the
how many
things.
different types of mushrooms are you producing?
About seven mushrooms. So
Okay.
oyster mushrooms, an oyster hybrid that's really delicious. It's called Black Pearl. We grow lion's mane as well, which is great for the gourmet crowd, and then it also has medicinal applications. Reishi, turkey tail, shiitake and maitake. That's about it.
And you just said really delicious. So are you producing these for people to cook with or just eat as
Absolutely.
they are? Or?
Lion's mane, you can cook it and eat it. The team went to Waking Life Festival here in Portugal, a rowdy festival of like 12,000 people. And
I haven't heard of that. Where was that?
it's like in like Castelo Branco. It's in Crato.
Okay.
I don't know exactly where. I was in a different part of the country. But they sold an enormous amount of these lion's mane burgers. So they made like a panko crusted crispy lion's mane fillet, and then they sold,
Fantastic.
3,000 or 4,000 of them. So it's delicious. Lion's mane is delicious across the
So I
board.
do that with portobello mushrooms. but-
Yeah, and portobellos are great too. That's a little button mushroom grown up. And we can't compete. Those guys are going out of business. The big portobello,
Yeah.
or in the portobello and little button mushroom guys. Whole different animal, whole different kind of substrate and production. So we went the niche
So
route.
yeah, why not? But
Yeah.
what sort of size? You see on TikTok and all these things all the time, and people are holding this lion mane mushroom. It's enormous. What kind of weights are you talking about?
I mean, a lion's mane can weigh like a kilo,
Yeah.
maybe. It's like it can be the size of a basketball.
Wow.
And anywhere up and down, 200 grams to maybe a little more.
And it obviously looks all hairy like a lion's mane, but is it solid in the middle there?
It's solid, but it's kind of spongy. It's kind of it has a lot of water in it. But yeah. I mean, when we dehydrate it, it goes down about 90% in weight. So it's like 90% water.
And you said you've got this warehouse. Have you had to adapt? I'm assuming. I mean, you should never assume. You need humidity. You need certain types of soil. You need certain conditions.
Sure. Yeah. So the space was just a big empty, concrete building. The mushrooms need the right conditions, or they're just going to wait. They're going to wait, or they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
So they need the right humidity. They need the right oxygen. Mushrooms breathe oxygen and exhale CO2,
Okay.
just like us. We're more closely related to mushrooms than to plants.
Don't say that. I feel guilty eating it.
No, well, I mean, you have to eat. We all have to eat, right? That's funny. But yeah, so without the right humidity, above 80, 90%, they breathe out CO2.
Yeah.
So if you let the CO2 accumulate in that room, the mushrooms get real like sick and weird, like looking for oxygen. So we exhaust the CO2, and then they need the right temperature, because in nature they wait, boom, it's like right season, they go.
Yeah.
Most of these mushrooms, like the turkey tail, lion's mane, reishi, shiitake, maitake, they need hardwood. They're like they decay, or they eat decaying wood.
Okay. So what do you do? Chip? It's wood chip or something?
Yeah,
or
we use like the wood pellets that they use for the wood burning
Burners?
stoves.
Okay.
Yeah, so we get oak. It has to be oak or another hardwood. And then we mix that with calcium. We have a secret recipe using soybean hulls, and that's it. So that goes into the substrate. We mash it up and mix it, bag it in 3.5 kilo bags, wrap it up like a Christmas present, pasteurize those in this little machine we made. We pump steam into this stainless steel container, cooks them. Then we take it out, put the mushroom mycelium in there, seal it, let it incubate, and then open the bag and let it fruit. That's a whole thing.
So when you got it like that's what you're going to use for your food, or that's what you're going to then use for your tinctures, or
Yeah. Once it fruits, then we collect the fruiting body. We either dehydrate it or we sell it fresh. And then with the dehydrated material, you can make a traditional. We're artists. We're artisans. We're not like super, industrial kind of operation. So we do a traditional tincture, which is you macerate it in high-proof alcohol. The alcohol extracts the alcohol-soluble components
okay.
and kind of like takes them out of the material.
Can I try and relate this to something else for people who don't know what a tincture is? I used to work with aromatherapy, and I have a friend here in the Algarve who was a clinical aromatologist. I mean, awesome. So instead of going to the pharmacy and getting whatever it is all made up, she was able to produce these things herself, and obviously the strength was so much better, the results were so much better. Is that the same sort of thing as you're talking about, like a concentrate that would go in the alcohol?
Yeah. Well, so we're not doctors. We're humble mushroom growers that are just doing this traditional product. A tincture has been used for thousands of years. So yeah, you use alcohol, one of the most common substances in Western civilization.
Yeah.
And the alcohol, like I said, it's a solvent. So it breaks down the cell wall and the components of the mushroom, and it extracts the medicinal compounds that we want. So it concentrates it and it makes it more bioavailable. You can do that with any kind of herb. I mean, people make tinctures out of herbs. My wife knew like a clinical herbalist, a medical herbalist, this old pistol of a woman, and she would buy the tinctures like from like a lab and then give that to people as their herbalism practice. So it's been going on for a long time, tinctures, and
things like rescue remedy.
I'm not familiar with it, but is it? I mean, yeah.
It's one of those things that's just farmed out to all the school kids before anybody has an exam.
Okay.
It's one of those calming things, but again, in tincture form.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's in it or what. I don't know the product, but
I don't care. It works.
Yeah, it works. So it worked for you. Yeah.
So, what sort of products do you do? What are the different types of forms that you're producing?
Okay. So right now we're making a powder out of the lion's mane.
Okay.
We have some capsules out of lion's mane. We're doing a really nice lion's mane coffee blend. So it's good coffee with like 10% lion's mane.
So just before we move on to the next one, with the powder and the capsules, how would you take those?
Like 2 grams a day. You can mix in the powder with like a hot beverage or a smoothie, and just take the lion's mane powder.
Okay.
And then the capsules, it's you take 2 grams a day or so of capsule, and that's a good baseline dose, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry, moving on from there, you've got your
lion's mane coffee. So it's really good coffee mixed with like 10% lion's mane, and then we have a really nice cacao drink, raw cacao, ashwagandha, maca, lion's mane, spices, ginger and cardamom, things like that. Delicious. So it's like if you want less caffeine but a nice morning ritual and a good beverage, because that's the thing, is there's so much hype in the world of supplements and the mushrooms. There's a lot of products out there, and you're trying to replace your coffee, and then you're getting the mushroom mix, and it's maybe dandelion root or like chicory or barley or something, and then it's like a little bit of mushrooms, and it tastes like dirt.
I've got to tell you, I'm not going to mention. I'm not mentioning any names.
Yeah.
What I'm going to say is it's clearly not for me. Having tried lion's mane, got fantastic results. Obviously, before I knew you, and I decided, bit of market research, I'd go and I'd try some other things. Oh God, it's awful. Yeah. It's this gloopy chocolate, thick thing first thing in the morning that I'm struggling to get through, and I'm not. I believe obviously because it's a mix of all sorts of different things. I understand that I won't get the same benefit from that I'd maybe get from just having the pure lion's mane, but just the drink on its own, it's not for me.
It can be revolting. So if it tastes revolting, no one's going to want to take it, even no matter how good it is for you. So I'm really blessed to have as my partners these Venezuelan guys, Manuel and his brother-in-law Cone. Cone is a professional cook, chef, and he's made all of our recipes. Manuel doesn't do anything mediocre. He takes it to the perfectionistic, artistic level, which sometimes when you're trying to run a small business can be, it can be, I get impatient, but man, these guys have the highest quality stuff I've ever seen.
They're getting it right.
So the cacao mix that we have is just beautiful flavor. It's the best. We went to this festival and this other festival last week, and you're at a hippie festival, everybody's got the ceremonial grade cacao and all that, but no, we had the best cacao. I mean, hands down. So that's good. I really recommend this product, and it has the lion's mane, it has the cacao, which is good for you, and spices that help warm up the system. Yeah. I don't know. I recommend that. I'll get some to you.
I'll try it. I'll try it. I'm a little bit nervous because I can't bear this other thing, but
no.
I trust you.
This is a delight to drink, and same thing. Manuel, he is an attractor of people. He meets everybody in the world, and we went to Madrid last month to meet this guy that makes bean to bar cacao chocolate bars. Okay. Delicious guy, and obviously a professional. So we went to this tiny little shop where they make it from scratch, from the beans, and that's going to be the guys making the chocolate bars for us. With the lion's mane powder, good chocolate, boom. So
you've got the dried products.
Yeah.
You've got the powder.
Fresh mushrooms.
We
do some preserves. We make a escabeche, which is a traditional like Latin American Portuguese thing as well. So it's oyster mushrooms, olive oil, vinegar, carrots, and onions, and some spice.
That tastes good.
Once again, Kone. And, we do it, preserve it, it's shelf stable, and it's, it just takes the mushrooms to down the road.
Yeah. And then you've got obviously the tinctures. So which one would you say would be your best selling product?
The tinctures are the best sellers. And that's a great way to approach like taking medicinal mushroom supplements because, a bottle of tincture, 100 milliliters, that's 100 doses. So say you do 1 or 2 doses a day, that's 50 days. And the mushrooms, it's a great way to add mushrooms to your life and see if they can help you. Yeah. Can
we see this? A little close up?
Maybe you can do it even one step further. Why don't you try it? Here.
Okay, what is this?
This is lion's mane. So you can take some under your tongue.
Stick it on there for me if I miss.
Yeah. Up, open. No.
Miss.
Tilt your head
Oh,
back.
that's good.
Yeah. You can taste the lion's mane in it. Yeah. Let's try that again though. Put your tongue up so I can put it under your tongue. There you go. All right.
And of course, under your tongue absorbs into your system faster, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like...
That is completely different I was expecting a similar taste to the original lion's mane powder they've got. That is so much stronger.
Yeah, I mean, and we use a local bagasso alcohol as the alcohol for the extraction.
Yeah.
But it's very...
I feel like I've had a bath in it now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good for the skin. It's good for
that's really good. I could start my day without a problem.
It's pretty, it's not hard to commit to.
And what do you do? How many drops a day?
Half a dropper, so like 1 milliliter is good enough. Yeah, 1 to 2.
Okay, so a bottle like this would last for how long?
Well, if it's 100 doses and you take 1 dose a day, 3 months. If you take 2, 50 days, month and a half.
Okay.
Something like that.
So we've got the lion's mane. So a lot of people know about that because there's advertising everywhere.
Yeah.
When we break it down now into mixes, what have we got with those?
All right, so every mushroom has its unique signature and intelligence. I think one thing that's really important is we've gotten so fixated on this reductionistic scientific worldview that we forget that people have been using these for thousands of years. This is nothing new. The Japanese monks have been using lion's mane for 2,500 years to meditate.
Wow.
It's like, did they know what all the tiny little annelids were that they reduced and extracted to little pieces? No, but they knew it worked.
They knew it worked, absolutely,
it's a whole intelligent. Also, the mushrooms, they're living, breathing creatures that deserve respect. They're whole intelligent things, and they're more intelligent than I think we realize. It's like taking that out and bringing that intelligent force. Sounds woo-woo, I know. It's hard to measure, but the whole mushroom's in there.
No, I get it. I'm just feeling more and more guilty about it.
No, we have to eat. Life eats life. Yeah. They're decaying and eating things too. They get it.
Yeah. Look, I used to be a snail farmer. I can't.
Oh, well.
I can't say anything about this. Yeah. So what have you got here? Lion's mane, and then you've got this. This is for what? What is it?
So lion's mane is used more for cognition. There's been a lot of studies showing that lion's mane has what's called neurotropic growth factor. Yeah. This is a fancy way of saying it helps the neurons. It's food for neurons and like the nervous system. So it helps the brain form nerve cells, and it also helps the sheath of the nerve cell form as well.
So this is the myelin sheath that breaks down things like multiple sclerosis.
Okay. People report that it helps with focus, clarity, feeling more present. It has a whole slew of other things it does. But mostly for focus and clarity, reishi is more known for adaptogenic properties of like balancing the nervous system, calming, strengthening the immune system. Reishi is known as the mushroom of immortality from China, Chinese medicine. It was so rare, only the emperor could eat reishi. It was like prohibited for everybody else. And same thing, there's a whole slew of scientific studies. It helps the brain produce a precursor to serotonin. So it can help with mood. That it fortifies.
So if somebody's got depression or
Yeah, once again, I mean,
dementia route and that kind of thing?
I mean, I say lion's mane can help with dementia and like cognitive decline.
Yeah.
Once again, we're not doctors, but as for supplementation with,
No, me neither.
Yeah.
But it's helped.
Yeah.
It's helped me on so many levels, like you said.
Yeah.
Lifted the fog, got the clarity back, got the focus back. Once you've got those, now your whole
Get momentum.
process is going to pick up. Yeah. So whereas you think you're breaking down and now you're going to die, it kind of takes that out. Because you realise actually there is a me underneath this. Yeah, really, really has worked.
Nice.
Okay, so now we have. So this has 3. Is that right?
Well, no, this is just the reishi by itself. This is the 3 mushroom blend. The other mushroom that we grow for the medicinal properties, or one of them, is a turkey tail. Turkey tail is a conch that grows on the side of trees, and it's maybe one of the most studied mushrooms in the world, because in Asia this is standard practice to supplement with cancer therapy.
Oh.
Yeah. So the turkey tail is prescribed along with chemo or other treatments because it's very anti-tumor, anti-cancer. So it's a very aggressive, I think, immune system support on the physical level, on the cellular level. So this is the lion's mane, turkey tail, and reishi together. And we have a 5 mushroom too, that's shiitake and maitake put together. Yeah. But we're small. We've been sold out, so we're
But this is just the synergy of what's happening here in the Algarve with the red light energy lounges, with all the sound frequency stuff going on, supported by this, all the other way around. We're just moving into a far more healthier time of our lives, if this is the path we're choosing to take.
Totally.
And although we're saying we're not doctors, you've got all the sciencing that proves it, but then you've got people like me who says, I really don't care. It works.
That's the thing, is like, I think take responsibility for your own health. And that's like, what you need to do, what you need to not be doing. And it's hard to break bad habits and do things that are supportive sometimes, but like, do you want it or not? It's like, it's up to you to make that decision. The doctor can't make you, take care of yourself.
Absolutely,
and if you find something that works, then I'd say stick with that.
And I'm seeing these pictures that are coming up here. So these people, they're not all blood family, but for all intents and purposes, they've become your family. Is that you all seem to have same focus?
I'm from Texas. I'm not from Venezuela, although we have some kind of brotherly thing happening. But Manuel is my business partner in this, and he's the guy that's done the heavy lifting on learning the heart and soul of the mushrooms, the production, the logistics. Kone is Jonathan is his it's his basically brother-in-law. So
it's family.
Yeah, it's family. Those guys are family, and then the rest of the team is we have Portuguese, we have an Argentinian guy, a Hungarian girl from Spain. So it's that's the thing about Portugal is there's such a fertile cross-pollination of cultures coming here because it's attractive right now.
And we've got your son Phoenix in the studio with us today, who is saying that he also helps in and mucks in and helps to join in.
He likes to work. He's driven. So he gets in there sometimes. Yeah.
Which is one he'll be running the show at the end of the day. At the end of the day, to have the knowledge to be on that ground floor as things grow, it's not just a material lesson. To actually touch and feel and watch these things happen is an entirely different experience.
Yeah, and that's a good point. It's like, what are we teaching our kids? To be like mindless consumers, or like producers, and like to be humans? It's like, what skills do they really need to function and thrive? Like, so he's learning how to run a business. He's learning how to grow food.
And the importance of it.
That kid can cook at like a high level already, and he's young, so he's on the road.
Phoenix, I'm going to put my order in for a burger. Okay.
Phoenix and I are working on a beef jerky business, a dried meat business that we're going to start doing the legwork on. Right, bud?
Okay, so I'm going for the lion's mane burger here. Yeah. Let's see what you can come up with that one. That just sounds amazing.
But have you had Texas style beef jerky?
No.
So it's just
From the Caribbean, but not from Texas.
well, that's like jerk chicken. That's a
different thing.
Yeah. So we marinate strips of cow meat and then we dehydrate it, and that's it.
All right.
It's very nice.
Look, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. So, where are you now? I know you're small. You're growing. Respectfully, you are making sure that what you're doing is absolutely right for the area that you're in, and at that point, you're moving on. So, you're now selling throughout Portugal with the Algarve. Now it's Portugal. Yeah. And have you entered into Spain already?
Yeah. So, I mean, with the supplements, we can ship those over the EU. We have an online store. We're sending that to Spain. Some people are buying in Greece. Sent some to Iceland.
Okay.
EU zone. The UK, with the Brexit and all that, we couldn't get into the UK. I just haven't figured out how to do the importation paperwork.
Okay.
But yeah, all over Europe.
I've got a solution for you for that. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, cool. Nice. All right, good. Yeah, let's hammer that out. But yeah, we're seeing these little the tinctures and the powders and stuff all across Europe. That's easy.
Because I'm not seeing a lot of tinctures out there.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the powder. I think for me the difference between you and a lot of the other companies I'm seeing that are springing up all over Portugal now is the fact that you are growing from scratch.
I'm glad you mentioned
that. A lot
that.
of them bring it in from different countries.
Yeah, so my colleague sent me this study about the EU mushroom supplement and business market, and they tested 19 products, and only 4 of them had the DNA of the mushrooms that they were advertising on the capsule, on the bottle, right? So it's easy for me it would have been a lot easier to import from a South Asian country this product and then repackage it and sell it. And we didn't trust that supply chain. We wanted to do it locally, and we wanted control and to know that they were grown with love, and people were paid an ethical wage, not slave wages. So we took on the responsibility of learning how to grow all these products ourselves, and that's all we use.
I think also if you are a local producer here, and let's face it, we've had cyclones or tornadoes, or now we're 40 odd degrees of heat or whatever. If you were to say, well, look, the process has slowed down a little bit, we've had some adverse weather conditions, we're all going to understand that. Whereas if you're bringing it in from somewhere else, it's like you said, it's that supply chain where you have no control over it at all. You don't know if it's
the regulation is really weak. It's even the bio stuff. It's because I took our stuff and I sent it to the States to have it tested in the lab, and it's I'm looking at all the contaminants, the pesticides, the heavy metals, the analytes. It's great. There's none of that in there, and there's the good stuff in it. Yeah. But also, there's something important about doing something with intention and care. And that's what these guys have. I've learned a lot from them, because the music is always amazing at the Mushroom Factory. And like I said, we control the environment, right? So we control the conditions.
You're just playing music, or playing physically playing?
No, it's playing your
playlist.
Playlist. Yeah, but Kone has the best taste in music. He has the best taste in food and the best taste in music. So it's
And do the mushrooms respond? You hear a lot of people saying you should sing or talk to your plants.
Here's something interesting. So last month we went to something called Mushroom Church up in Lisbon. They brought in this guy named Modern Biology, and he hooks up electrodes to plants and mushrooms, and then he runs that through a synthesizer, and it gets the electrical signal that's happening in those, and then it makes noises, like music, and then he'll make a song with it.
That's mad.
Yeah, so he hooked it up to our lion's mane, and it was the most active lion's mane he ever hooked up to.
You see, every time you say something, it's becoming more and more human all the time.
They're alive. They're living and breathing creatures. They're creatures.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. The world is alive.
Yeah.
Everything's alive.
So have you got this on your website? Have you got a recording?
I can send it to you.
You need to get a recording out there. That's just mad.
Yeah. And like I said, it's like.
As long as it's not saying, don't eat me, don't eat me.
Nah, listen, you're gonna waste away if you have that kind of attitude. You have to be. You have to have some. Yeah.
No, I'm there. That was good. That was good, definitely.
Okay.
So when somebody orders from you, what sort of time are you talking about for delivery?
We ship that same day if it's a weekday, and I don't know, 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
Across Europe, maybe a little bit longer if it's like Romania or something like that.
And what about how people pay? Is it transfer? Do you use PayPal?
We have Shopify, so it's just a normal online e-commerce.
Okay.
Mushroomcompadres.com.
That's what we want.
Yeah, and it's a normal Shopify platform, so it's got all the payment options. There's PayPal, credit cards, and all that. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, do you also use Instagram, social medias?
Oh, good Lord, we have a banging Instagram. Yeah. Facebook, I think, is kind of tied to that, but Instagram, we have a nice Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, that's your camera over there.
Yeah, it's mushroomcompadres.com. You'll have to look at the show notes or whatever to see how it's spelled.
Yeah, we'll put it on there underneath.
Compadres, think, at Instagram. And like I said, we're open. If you want to come visit us anytime.
That was going to be my other question.
Yeah.
Are you open to people coming and?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can come see our factory and see how we do it. Like we're open book.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm up for that. So if anybody wants to come along with me, give me a shout.
Yeah.
And we'll take a trip and a picnic and have our burgers, because Phoenix is a really good cook and he can do them for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Phoenix, he can cook. Like I said, he can cook at a high level.
Fantastic.
And one last thing I want to say is that we also we have a sister project called Fazenda Compadres, or that's a working name for it. So we have a quinta farm where we are growing vegetables and fruit, but we're using the waste stream of the mushrooms. So we grow the mushrooms on this wood substrate, they colonize it, we make fruit, and then we recycle that spent substrate. We compost it, we feed it to earthworms, and we're also working it back into the soil, which was very degraded, and basically like a brick, clay brick. And it's rebooting the soil food web.
Wow.
So the life is coming back into the ground.
Fantastic.
And the organic matter. So,
and have you got specific plans for what you're going to grow on there, or?
Well, I mean, we have a market garden that's going to be doing like vegetable boxes and like selling to restaurants, produce. So yeah, that's in the works.
See, I'm thinking wine, because of course the grapes take the flavour of the soil that you're.
We could grow really good wine there actually. But
that would be interesting.
I need some
later.
I need some food. So that's the idea.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Skeets, thank you so much. You've driven a long way. It's incredibly hot out there. We've come into the studio this morning for 10:30. It's already hitting 34, 35 coming through. So bless you. Thank you so much for that. Keep it. I'm obviously going to put all the normal details underneath on Living Life Algarve. I'm going to link to Mushroom Compadres. Compadres mushrooms, your mushroom compadres.
Mushroom compadres,
Conectv as usual. And let's follow these guys and see where they're going to go. Like I said, I've got some information that will get them into the UK and possibly further afield. So we're going to watch your story, see how it rolls. And thank you so much. That's wonderful.
Yeah, my pleasure. And thank you all for watching.
Well, we're going to see, as usual, I'm going to finish on another little note. I'm going to say today is my first grandchild's it's the anniversary of her birth. She's 3 months old today. I am the happiest person in the world, and I don't usually put up her pictures, but today, Living Life Algarve, she's going up there, and she is the best.
So April 1st was her birthday?
I know.
April Fool's Day.
My father, my husband is the biggest joker on the planet. My daughter was born on the 31st of March because I was determined she was not going to be born on April Fool's Day. And of course, then her sister subsequently then gives birth on April Fool's Day. It was going to happen. It was going to happen. So, there we go. She's 3 months old today. She is my universe. She is the most little piece of perfect that you could ever imagine, and she's all mine. So until we meet again in a couple of weeks, have a great time. Drink water, Diorolite or something like that if you need to rehydrate. Get your hat on, guys, and Factor 50. There's loads of natural options out there, but please do it, because our services are stretched enough as it is. We don't need you in hospital for reasons you can avoid. So on that happy note, see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.
Currencies for you, achieving you more for your money.
Natalia Rosso Properties. Your wise investment is our high priority.
At Living Life Algarve by Kat Almeida.